Good morning, YouTube. Scott Lett here, owner of Iron City Power Washing. We're out here at one of our annual pool decks that we clean. We'll walk in there in a second. It's called the Pool at Patriot Park. Got the rig set up here. Some water filling up. Let's walk in here, show you guys what we're doing today. Another good ticket for us. So this little pavilion shaded area gets the dirtiest. This is where people eat. You can tell there's some bad drainage there. This area needs the most attention, so I am going to surface clean this before I get out there, but I am going to pre-treat it, downstream it, let it sit for a little bit. As this is dwelling, I'm just going to get a pump sprayer and just go treat around the fence there, and then I'm gonna come out here and just downstream this whole place. I mean, we clean this every year, so we really just maintain this. It doesn't need to be surface cleaned. This type of surface, it's actually better to soft wash it. I do 12 volt it every other year. We did one deep clean a couple years ago with our surface cleaners, but now we can just maintain it with the soft wash. There are a couple spots that need some attention, like right here, but I can come around and pump spray. There's a green spot there, but I mean, overall it's still in great shape. So if I were to surface clean this, it would look pretty identical to what it looks like now. So there's really no need to go around and surface clean it. Now, 2 years ago when we cleaned this place, it was black. So that's why I love these reoccurring accounts. They really get easier to clean every year, because I'm just gonna essentially just post treat it and leave. It stays pretty clean. This area gets a whole lot of sunlight. That helps with mold, but you know, once the shade starts over here, that's where the mold's gonna be, along with sugar and whatnot, where people eat. But this is gonna be a very easy job. We still get paid the same to maintain this. The price didn't go down at all, but you can see in here it's dirty. So I'm gonna spend most of my time in here. These tables were supposed to be moved, but I'm not gonna complain because we're getting paid very handsomely to do really half the work. I mean, like I said, 2 years ago, we had to surface clean this whole place. We're out here pretty much all day, but now it's pretty much saucing it and leaving. But it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge to work around all this, but I don't mind moving it around if this is really the only place I'm gonna surface clean. So I'm about to crank up, pre-treat all this, grab the surface cleaner, get all this cleaned, get all the leaves blown out, and then I'll head out there, downstream it, pump spray the more stubborn areas, and then get out of here. See, it's a little bit past 9:30 right now. I bet you I'm out of here by 11. Let's crank her up. All right, guys, I'm downstream. I've got my machine idle down a little bit. I can pull a little bit stronger than it can. Luckily these chairs are very easy to clean under. The SH doing all the work. I may not even have to surface clean. We're gonna see what the SH does, and then we'll go from there. Either way, it has to be pre-treated to kill all the mold and get up all the gum or the sugar and whatnot. All right, I'm gonna get this pre-treated, let it sit, and I'll probably surface clean just because I probably will have to, but I'll make that call here in about 10-15 minutes, see what it looks like. All right, let's check it out. Have not surface cleaned yet. This is just downstreaming all the dark spots, which is like a combination of sugar and mold. Here's a good example. That's just sugar there, but that's why I have the pump spray out here to just hit the really stubborn areas. With straight SH, it'll melt it right up. So we have a combination of mold, sugar, and bird poop everywhere. But I downstreamed with a 1.8 injector. It's pretty hot. Along with pump spraying a few areas. Looks like I'm not gonna have to surface clean after all. Just give this a good M5 twist rinse. And we'll see where we're at. I mean, it was filthy in here. So the SH did the work. Give this a good rinse, get under the chair as best I can. And then I'll go around and just pump spray, treat some areas, downstream the pool deck. Get out of here. All right, guys, I am finished. Still really wet under here, but I just went out there and pump sprayed some pretty stubborn areas. I downstreamed everything. It lightened up a good bit. It looks good. So we're done. Did another pool deck yesterday, about the same size. Then my business partner and tech are handling the apartment complex. But I just bought a new machine from a local supplier, an 8 gallon per minute machine. So I'm about to go pick it up. This machine here is going to be dropped off. Something's wrong with it. That's about a 4-year-old machine, so it's paid its dues. That's the current machine I'm using, an 8 gallon GX690 Honda engine general pump. That one has about 500 hours on it. This one I have no idea. And then I'm about to go buy a new one. So I try to maintain my machines once a month. I try to do something to maintain them, whether check the air filter, check the oil levels. I change the oil probably every 2 to 3 months. I really don't keep up the hours. You can kind of look at the oil and tell if it gets a little dark. Go ahead and change it. Always change the oil filter. And I'm pretty good at fixing these machines, but this one here is pretty jacked up. I don't know what's wrong with it, so I want to drop it off, get it fixed. It's time for a new machine anyways, so I'm gonna go pick it up and get it plumbed up and get it ready for the rest of the week. So get this closed up and head to the supply store. All right, in the truck, headed to get the new machine. Some of you guys are probably wondering, man, how do you get these apartment complexes? How do you get these pool decks? Yes, we have SEO. You can find us on Google. Yes, we have a Facebook page. Yes, our SEO is strong. But with all that being said, we pick up the phone, we email, we meet with people for lunch. We do a lot of things that, I don't know, I guess this new school industry marketing tells you not to do. Everyone's caught up in digital marketing, which is fine. You should be able to be found on Google. but you should also have the ability to make a phone call, to send an email. Those are some things that have become a lost art. The old school stuff, which I talk about all the time on my channel. Picking up the phone, being intentional, will get you work. Okay, so there's this new hospital being built by a company that we've worked for before. I called the project manager for who was over the project we did for this company last year. I said, hey, who's the project manager for this job that's currently going on? Gave me the number. He actually texted the guy and said, hey, Scott, Iron City Power Washington's gonna be calling you. Called him. And I said, hey, are you guys gonna need someone to come do a post-construction cleanup? Yes, we are. So there we go. I was proactive, made a phone call, already had a reference there, and made it happen. So a lot of our commercial accounts come from relationships. A lot come from us being proactive, and a good bit come from just being searched on Google. So just don't put all your eggs in one basket, okay? Also, I highly encourage you guys, especially you guys who've been in the industry for a year or two, you've realized, okay, I've made it. Okay, I've got a book of business slowly growing. I would recommend and highly encourage you to have 2 machines on your truck. Right now I have 1 machine that's working, and I just don't have a very good feeling about it. I'm just very paranoid about equipment breaking, and it just doesn't look good on your part if you're at a job and your machine and your equipment isn't operating and functioning the way that it should. Okay, there has not been one occurrence since 2018 where I had to leave a job because I didn't have a backup. You know, my machine wasn't working. You know, there was a time where my surface cleaner just wouldn't work and I had a turbo nozzle, but I was at the very end of the job, so that wasn't a big deal. But you know, once you get up and running, I understand you guys just getting started, you don't have the capital, don't have the funds to, you know, to spend on, you know, buying 2 machines. I understand that. But I would rather you guys, you know, at some point have 2 machines. So as a company, we have right now, the other 2 rigs have 2 machines and I have 1. But we have other machines at my business partner's house that, you know, are smaller machines, but if we needed to go get them, you know, we could. So, but me running a machine right now with 500 plus hours, it was my first 8 gallon per minute machine, makes me a little paranoid. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and make a purchase and buy a new machine. So, because you are only as good as your equipment, right? So, and another thing too is, you know, I hear a lot of stories. I hear guys talking, oh man, you ain't got to change the oil in them things for 200 hours. False. Okay, so a brand new machine, after the first 25, 30 hours, you know, those are the break-in hours. You need to change the oil, get everything refreshed, and then you're good for about 75 to 100 hours. But I usually change my oils about every 2 months. But I have 2 machines and I like to, you know, alternate each machine daily. I use, you know, the other machine that I didn't use the day before, so I just go back and forth, and that helps keep hours off the machines. They each get work, they're both being used, and that's also not good for a machine to sit there. So that's why I like having 2 machines. You know, they're each other's backup. They're both getting work. You know, they're helping each other to keep hours off, you know, the machines you have. So it's a good system. I like it. I love the 8 gallon per minute Honda GA690 General Pump. That, in my opinion, that is the best machine out there. I've had 0 issues, knock on wood. So I will never buy a 10 gallon, 12 gallon. I'll never go to a Predator. The black machine that's not working, that was my business partner's. We gave our tech my other 8 gallon per minute machine. That's the same machine as the Honda. And then it worked for him, decided not to work for me. I don't know what's wrong with it, so I'm gonna drop it off and get it fixed, and then pick up this new machine. So take care of your equipment, maintain it properly, baby it, change the oil, change the filters, keep an eye on your oil levels, and just take care of them, man. Especially if this is how you provide for your family, you have no choice. I think your wife will understand if you're busy and you don't have time, that you may have to work 5 days and then have 1 day a month where you service your equipment, to make money for your family. So because if you keep putting it off, it's eventually gonna bite you in the rear end, I promise you. So all right, I'm gonna go get this machine, get it loaded up, get it plumbed up, and I'll probably use it tomorrow. Good morning, YouTube. Day number 7 out here at the apartment complex, and we're finished. I just got here at about 7 before the property manager and all this gets busy with tenants. Just soft wash all this. 14 buildings and an office, 7 days, all the sidewalks, and we're finished. We downstreamed everything with our 8 and 10 gallon per minute machines. We're able to, clear that peak there. That's the tallest point of the buildings, and that was easy. The biggest focus though were the breezeways and all the sidewalks, and then curbs. There's a few curbs that we couldn't get to just because of all the cars, but that's not on us anymore. We sent out a notice to send to the property manager to let them know, hey, we're going to be at this building this day. It's your responsibility to move the cars, and I was in agreement with the property manager. If we can't get to certain curbs, we're moving on. So that's how you handle that. Also, they're responsible for all Ring doorbell covers. We let them know that anything on their patios, right in there, like we're gonna be spraying around that. So, there's gonna be overspray around those areas. If you don't want your stuff wet, bring it inside. So these larger jobs, guys, require a lot of communication, logistics, but this is between you and the property manager. Okay, they called you, they hired you. As long as you're on good terms with him or her, that's all that matters. So, but I'm about to clean these sidewalks real quick. So we did not quote the office. I'm just doing it for free out of appreciation for hiring us, and then we're gonna come back when they call us to come do the pool deck. So this is all I have left here, is this little sidewalk area. It's a good ticket for us. My business partner in tech pretty much took on this job. I'm here to just kind of meet the property manager, turn our key in she gave us for all the fire rooms that supplied water for us, and just to make sure she's happy, and then we'll send the invoice in and hopefully get paid within the next 30 days. I just want to show you guys the new machine. Here she is. Beautiful. I don't know how many hours I have on her already, but probably a good bit. She's got a good size fuel tank there, and then the smaller one fuels that machine. So got 2 8 gallon per minute machines fed by a 100 gallon tank, 55 gallon bleach tank, and then all my hose reels. I use a mini Mondo, and then I have all my supplies and stuff in that toolbox. Some special chems like rust removal, one restore, things of that nature. I used to have a big flatbed, if some of you guys remember, but this is all you need. This is my 12-volt battery. My 12-volt pump is right there. This is my hose reel for the 12-volt. This is my water supply. That's my go-to gun. Most of you guys know the DN10 ball valve. This is an easy release gun. It's my shooter tip. I have all kind of an M5 twist in there, X-Jet, all the other nozzles, some J-Rides and whatnot. Here's the other side of my truck, my high pressure hose reel. And we're actually gonna get our trucks wrapped pretty soon, get this thing cleaned up and get a official wrap on there. My old truck, my flatbed, had that, but I sold it. But anyways, guys, if you can get in with an apartment association and get these apartment complexes, man, they're cash cows. They're usually normally pretty easy work. The biggest thing is try not to kill yourself. Like, don't come out here and try to knock out 4 buildings in a day. Like, just pace yourself. We told her we're gonna do 2 buildings a day for 7 days. We could have done more. You know, there were days we got out of here, you know, around noon. That's why I was able to go do residential jobs and other jobs while the guys were out here soft washing these buildings. They're pretty good size. They tag team them. One truck would be on this half, the other truck would be on that half, and they would knock it out together, hit the sidewalks, curbs, move on to the next one. It's a beautiful property here, guys. So, and I also gave them a free pool deck cleaning. So we'll come back and soft wash the back side of this building, clean the pool deck whenever they're ready for that. So, property managers love free pool deck cleanings. They appreciate it. I cleaned the front of the office here for free. So, but anyways, guys, I'm gonna get back to these sidewalks. Again, this is a free service. We did not quote this, but you know, the only time I do free things are for the bigger jobs like this. So hope you guys have a great week. Give you guys a look at what I just soft washed. There's a bunch of cobwebs up in here. All right, guys, Scott Litt, Iron City Power Washing. Have a blessed day, guys.